You can try, start the class. 4, 9, 10.
4, 9, 10.
4.9.10. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamshachanuramardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of the mother Devaki, the Guru of the world, and the Lord of the universe. I salute him again and again. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us. So we are again back to reading our Bhagavat reading. This is book number 4, chapter 9 and 10th verse. So it is, here we find that the Dhruva, he was totally engaged in austerity and practice. Narada inspired him to do how to meditate, etc. And now Dhruva wanted to speak out his experience, but he was unable to speak out of emotion or something. So Narada gave him the blessings. With that power, he started praising God. So that is called this chapter what we are reading. It is called the Dhruva's hymn to Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, Narayana, that his experience is expressing that. You can come here and sit here. Yeah, so that I can see. So Dhruva was praising the Lord God, Mahavishnu, the great Lord who maintains and sustains the world. So he got the vision of him. So he said in verse number 6, which he read last time, my salutation to the Supreme Being, the possessor of divine majesties, who having entered in my heart has weakened my quickened my dormant limbs, senses, and vital powers, and has presently reawakened the power of speech with which I can now express myself in the form of these hymns. So, it is God's grace, the Lord, who is the possessor of all powers, and He has given me the strength, my voice, to speak out the praise. I am overwhelmed with the vision of Narayana, Vishnu. And he continued to say, though you are, O Lord, you are one without a second. Always one without a second. Who is one without a second? Brahman. No? So, this dualistic prayer, but it starts with Vedantic background. That's why Ramakrishna said you should have Jnana Mishra Bhakti, devotion with the ground of knowledge. If two should be coupled, otherwise without knowledge the bhakti becomes emotion, and without bhakti knowledge becomes dry. So to blend two together. That's why here also same idea.
What was that, Maharaj? Jnana Mishra Bhakti?
Jnana Mishra. M-I-S-H-R-A. Mishra. Mishra means mixed. Jnana mixed with bhakti. So you are the one without a second. O Lord, you have, through your infinite power from Maya, constituted the three gunas. What are the three gunas? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Projected all the categories from Mahat, from the Mahat Tattva down, and they are having entered into, as their indwelling self, have manifested yourself through these effects of several outgoing senses and with its distinctive powers. Eyes have the power to perceive, etc. By your grace alone would the great creator, Brahma, the creator, who was like a sleeping person, awaken from his slumber. How can a man of spiritual understanding then forget you, O Lord? You are so powerful. You are manifesting everywhere. O friend of the afflicted, who are the source of the intelligence and power, even Brahma, the creator God. So you are all powerful, so no one can forget you. Therefore, if anyone takes shelter at your feet, then you will get salvation. Mukti. Mukti is liberation, is possible for that person who can really they surrender to God, that Vishnu. And they are lost souls in the world. See, when you see who is sitting behind, is you are blocking anybody? Okay, that's the point. This is the intelligence. You have to like see in little bit, that all can see. You are only 5-6 people, so don't worry. The hall is big enough. So even by absorption in Brahman, your own transcendent greatness, the aspirants do not get the intense bliss which they find in the contemplation and service of you. What is to speak then of the satisfaction which desires-filled people get in the aerial cars of the celestial worlds, which are ever threatened with the destruction by the uplifted sword of time. So you have created time, and all the glory and everything of every human personality is clicking, clicking, clicking and going to death. So it is by your own inscrutable power, all this happening. How can I speak? What can I speak about that? O Infinite One, verse number 11. O Infinite One, may I always enjoy the association of your devotees who are absolutely pure in mind and who are ever engaged in cultivating love, devotion to you. So, as a devotee, should seek the association of a devotee. No? Where will you enjoy most? Two similar-minded people enjoys the. One musician enjoys another musician's play. One scholar enjoys another scholar. One politician can enjoy another politician. No? They are on the level. So a bhakta, then you like a bhakta. A jnani likes a jnani. Those who are of the similar mind resonates there. It is like a stringed instrument. You play in the instrument, you strike in one instrument, and you see that reflection goes into the other instrument. No? So that resonates, the heart resonates. Therefore, you devotees, my prayer that, O Lord, keep me in such an environment that I can be with your devotees only. So that they will be enjoying the Lord's name, chanting their glories, or in prayer and meditation and singing and dancing in the name of you, and I will also enjoy that, no? Otherwise, if you go to a spiritual mood, you go to a person who is non-spiritual, you will not speak there, you cannot talk to them, lest they will misunderstand or ridicule you. Misunderstand and ridicule. So therefore, who are absolutely pure in mind, I want that type of devotees. Oh Lord, give me that type of friends and devotees who are absolutely pure in mind and who are ever engaged in cultivating love, devotion to you. They are imbibing the accounts of your excellences in their company. When we go to a devotee will talk about Krishna, Krishna's childhood, Krishna's play in Vrindavan, or Krishna's whole, anything, like you read the Gospel of Ramakrishna, you read the stories in the life of Holy Mother or Vivekananda, or you see your mind moves around, oh, this is the temple, Ramakrishna is going there, and these other devotees are there, so that they help you to connect with God. So I am asking for such pure devotees who will be always, they themselves will be in devotion, and I will also enjoy their association and get devotion in my heart. I shall be inebriated with devotion and easily overcome this ocean of unbearable trouble and tribulations of the samsara. In this world, it is really difficult to keep the mind in God. So give me such holy people, holy association, where I can enjoy my life with the praising the God, singing the glories of God, and meditating, praying, and chanting together. Verse number 12. I am reading on page 347 of this book. It says, O Lord, you who hold the world lotus in your navel, those who maintain intimacy with devotees who are inebriated with the fragrance of your lotus feet, forget their own dear body and also associated with it son, children, friend, home, and other things. So you give me this association of those people, let me be intimate with devotees. Whose type of devotee? Those who are inebriated with the fragrance of your lotus feet. That means they love the Lord. The mind naturally is absorbed in God. So give me such friendship so that I can survive. No? It's like a fish out of water. If you keep the fish will survive happily where? Where there is water. That environment where other devotees evoke in you higher devotion. When you see that 10 people are really meditating, what do you feel like that? Going there? Even people come here, they are not prepared for meditation, but if they enter when everyone is meditating, what they say? That means it's cooling down. the mind, disturbed mind, who has no tendency to meditate or anything, but going to an environment of meditation, they imbibe certain characteristics. So I wish to have association among them, but the devotees who are absorbed in God, I can get their association, so that my mind leans towards God. To me, only your gross form as the universe, in the universe, as the universe is visible, the form manifest as animals, birds, plants, snakes, devas, asuras and men, and constituted of categories related to the cause and effect of the Mahat Tattva, Ahankara Tattva and the rest. So, I see that in the whole universe, not only that, in the gross universe, what I see, this earth, planet, the space, the trees, plants, animals. So, your birds, plants, snakes, gods, asuras, evil people, men, they constitute of categories related to the cause and effect like Mahat Tattva. What is the cause and effect? He is bringing Sankhya philosophy again and again. Everything is Purusha Prakriti, according to Sankhya. Purusha is the consciousness, permeates everywhere, and Prakriti is the nature. What is that? Mahat Tattva, Buddhi Tattva. That means ego comes, then buddhi comes, then mind comes, then all the sensory organs come. So it is all permeated, but what? Transformation of what? You, O Lord, you, your physical universe is nothing but your manifestation. So your transcendent state, which words cannot describe, is not perceptible to me. I cannot see your transcendental form. Yeah? Who can see the transcendental form? Even the yogis, they meditate. When they go into the transcendental realm, this whole world drops for them. There is no body concept, there is no world, there is no sun, there is no moon. That is the Vedanta, no? We chant every time Sankaracharya's. That is Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara. These are not me, and mind, ego, intellect is not me. But I cannot conceive that. Brahman is without a second, and it is absolute, it is infinite. Whatever we say, I cannot conceive that. But I can conceive your physical world as your manifestation. That means to look everything as God. At the time of the cosmic dissolution, you do gather all the worlds into your abdomen and lie on the serpent bed of Ananta with the consciousness indrawn. In the navel pool of you, so lying, arose the golden world lotus, and on its pericarp was seated the luminous Brahma, the Creator. My salutation to you. So it is saying that as we do, the whole world concept of us. Now, when you go to sleep, what happens? It is as if sucked into your internal reality and to the mind, and mind going into the deep sleep, no? The whole world does not have any real existence for a sleeping person. But when you wake up again, from there it expands as it were, and our world concept, we become aware of the world, no? So here also creation in you, when you go to sleep, the whole creation goes into absorption into you, and then again it comes up. So, and Brahma and others are all created by you. I salute you. You are eternally free. O Lord Vishnu, you are eternally free. 15. Pure and wakeful spirit. You are the original being, undecaying, and the master of all divine majesties, as well as of all material forces, transcending all, but including everything. You, the worshipful one, and the Lord of the whole world process stand as the witness, whose eternal and indivisible consciousness supports and illumines the consciousness in individual beings. No? All the consciousness we find in the trees, plants, human beings, animals, it is your consciousness reflected through this. So this entire universe is your manifestation. So I want to see the universe with this changed vision. I take refuge in you, the all-inclusive and infinite being, which is known as Brahman, the source of all, the one without a second, the infinite, the perfect, the essence of bliss. In you, all contradictory powers, such as the creative and destructive, the illumining and the concealing, the redeeming and the adjudging, all coexist and shed their oppositions. You know, in God everything is there, good and bad. For us, we say, in our immature thought, at the present, this is good, this is bad. Who is there in the good? God is there. What is in the bad? It's devil, Satan. This is the beginning of spiritual journey. And here, Dhruva has raised his consciousness into such a plane, he sees that everything is your manifestation. Good and bad, everything. Say a painter paints, no? Good and bad, whatever we may think, oh, it is good, it is bad. But all came from him. Good as also what you call bad, no? The whole creation is artwork. This is the artwork of God. God revealing himself in these diverse names and forms. It is God, God, God. So good is also God, bad is also God. That means in God there is no good and bad. That's why all contradictions meet together. That is the point. But you see how it is a bhakti book. And Dhruva is a bhakta. But bhakta's experience and Jnani's experiences are the same. What he says, that it is not only good. Ramakrishna says you cannot take one side of the coin, upwards and reverse of the same truth. Swami Vivekananda says, happiness you want to take, misery will be there. Good you take, bad will be there. That's why Ma Kali, Mother Kali, holds two forms together. One is the sword and hand and destruction. Another is the compassionate face and blessings and boon. This is the same idea, that destructive force, illumining and concealing, the redeeming and adjudging, all coexist and shed their oppositions. In God only, everything diverse, everything distinctive, separate, all separation merge into one. So Mother Kali is the same Mother Kali. There is a contradiction, one side destruction, another side is the protection. Protection and destruction. For a bad person, she looks Mother Kali as a terrible divine power with a sword in hand, blood oozing, and chopped out head, all this very frightening thing. But for Ramakrishna, it is sweet mother. The same. So, in the relative world, two are the expression of the one. One manifests in both ways. Otherwise the creation will not be there. There should be, if everything is made of one color, the whole world was unicolor, no? We will not enjoy it. We enjoy different colors. The creation means that. So good and bad in our eyes, but to a devotee's eye, it is all God. That idea, O Lord, to a devotee of yours who is desirous and ever engaged in worship of you, who are the very embodiment of man's highest inspiration, your feet are the sole object of quest. He seeks no other boon. I don't want any other boon I am your servant, so give me, I seek no other boons. But yet, O Lord, you who are ever bent on bestowing your grace on all, do protect the weak and the suffering, even as a cow protects its newborn calf. You see, all the animals even, the newborn babies, their mom protects so much. So you will be like mother and protect us. I only pray this much. I don't want anything for me. I want only that you help and protect any devotee who takes refuge in you or who are in distress. Please protect them. That is the prayer. Now, Maitreya Rishi says that hearing this prayer, the Lord who loves his devotees, that means Narayana, was very pleased with this truthful and intelligent Dhruva, and hearing this hymn of praise, and said to him, then Narayana said, to whom? To Dhruva. After this prayer, then the Lord responded. He's standing before him. Here's what he said, "O princely boy," because he was a prince, but deprived from that position because of some jealousy there. That is happening in life, no? We get deprived from many things because of living in a society with diverse types of people with their diverse tendencies. But it is all the play. The bhaktas say it is all God's play. What is happening? Everything is God's play. Good is good, that's also God's play. Bad is bad, that's also God's play. Because God wants to teach me something, give me some lesson out of it which you can learn something. So Sriram, here the Lord Narayana said, "O princely boy, I understand what you have in mind. I shall grant it to you, even though normally it is inaccessible. May you be happy. O dear one, there is the eternal luminary known as Dhruva among the heavenly bodies, which none has attained till now. All the planets, nakshatras, and other galaxies are centered on it. There is a star which is called Dhruva star, no? So he is saying that there is the eternal luminary that is called Dhruva among the heavenly bodies, which no one has attained till now. All these planets and the stars and planets and other galaxies are the concept that is centering around that Dhruva star. Dhruva means steady, pole star. We call pole star. That's why there is a song, "O Lord, I have made you my pole star of my life. I shall not be lost from that." Rabindranath Tagore has a song, no? Rabindranath? "I have made you, O Lord, I have made you my pole star of my life. I will not be deviated from your presence. More lasting than the spheres that disappear in intermediate kalpas, the Dhruva is a sphere around which all the stars, including Dharma, Agni, Shukra, Sapta Rishis, circumambulate like animal attended to an oil mill." As in an oil mill, all the animals, they rotate around. So, oil mill. They grind that oil seeds and the oil comes out, grinding. They do it, yoking the cows or bulls, and then they go on rotating. But they have no freedom. The bulls, once yoked like that, will have to, as much as you move, you are in the circle, you cannot get out. So all the Dhruva star is the center. And around all these satellites and all are moving around in there, but they have no escape, they cannot go away, centering in it. So like that, you will be attained to that star position. After you succeed to the throne on your father's retirement to the forest, you will rule over the earth with unimpaired vigor for a period of, oh my God, period of 36,000 years. This astronomical calculation we don't understand. But anyhow, that means you have done entire so much austerities and this, and I am very pleased with you. You will be given this extraordinary. First, you are deprived from your kingdom. That was your main problem. So now I give you boon. Your father will retire into the forest. 4 stages of life. So retirement life is the forest life. So that the king will retire and go into forest. And then you will be the king, and you will then continuously, uninterruptedly, you will rule the world. How many years? 36,000 years. My God, what a boon. That means for a long time. Let us take for practical to make it easy. But your brother Uttama will meet with death while hunting. So you are thinking who was so jealous and who got so much favor from your father, Uttanopada. So he will go into hunting and he will face danger and he will die, death. His mother, Suruchi, while going about the forest in great anxiety in search of her son, will be consumed in a forest fire. So, out of jealousy, when your mom and you are deprived, your, mother? Stepmother. Your stepmother, that his name is Suruchi, she also will try to find his son. The son has gone into the, the hunting in the forest. And entering into the forest, searching for his son, her son, so she will be consumed in the wildfire. Will be consumed in the forest fire. Then you will worship me. The Jagna form, with the numerous Jagnas accompanied with the bounteous dakshinas, enjoy countless felicities here on earth, and in the end attaining complete disenchantment with the life of the world, become again entirely devoted to me. So, because of you started your austerity prayer. Why? The boy went into the forest and started all these austerities for what reason? Now, I will get back. I will be a king, and I will regain my kingdom. I was deprived of my legitimate all affection what I should get from my father. My mother was ill-treated, so I will be king first. So that desire is in between fulfilled. And then after fulfilling those desires and being the king for 36,000 years, what will you do? Then you will become totally devoted to me, because you see what is there in the becoming a king, becoming an emperor, how much happiness is there, how much tension is there, no? People think high position is good. High position is full of anxieties, no? That's why you look at that, they get high pressure. Doctors go on prescribing more doses of medicine because of high position. See, some people say that I got a position, promotion, but I have to work hard. No? And work hard in such a way, I don't get time in the daytime to sleep, night time to rest, night time goes daytime, and I am so overwhelmed, I am exhausted. Then you know what your higher position can give you. It can take away your sleep, it can take away your fun, your joy. You go higher position and be there. So therefore, you become a king, then you will understand what the king's life is like that. It is not with one side is gold, only golden rasgulla, no? It is not the ice cream, eating ice cream, no? But you have to take the anxieties, then war and fight with the neighboring country, this, that. Then you will find, what is this? Then you will come back to devotion. Again devotional practice for me. Afterwards, you will attain to that realm. After that you experience the becoming a emperor or king, and then you come back as a devotee. And after having all this you attain to the realm of the described earlier, that is the plane of Dhruva Nakshatra, this pole star, in that region. Like Hindus have ideas. It's called moon is not moon. That is called Chandra Loka. There is a plane, a sphere of Chandra. That means moon-like soothing level of place where your mind will be remaining in that. Surya Loka, sun, plane of the sun, plane of the stars. So among that stars, Dhruva is the central star as described here. And all are rotating around that central star. And your abode will be there. You will remain in that steady state of stars, which is superior to every other realm. That means higher and higher and higher, higher. This is the higher realm. And attaining which man never returns to the earth. So this is the boon given by Lord Narayana. Now the interpreter Maitreya that says, thus after receiving the adoration of Dhruva and showering on him blessings that include the attainment of his divine sphere, one, you go into the higher sphere and live there. The Lord with eagle emblem disappeared as the boy looked on, having obtained through Mahavishnu's grace the fulfillment of all his desires. Indeed, being fulfilled to so great an extent as to make him desireless from all time, he went back to his city with a somewhat uneasy mind. So by this time, by this practice of his spiritual discipline, his mind has become pure. So he is not very much comfortable going back to be the king again. But little the boon has come, so your life is directed in that way. So he then went back to his kingdom. Dhruva, repentance over the boons. Now Dhruva, the Lord has left Dhruva, giving the boon, and Dhruva was not happy, because again it's a delay, no? To be with God, that joy, pure joy, versus you be a king and rule the kingdom for 36,000 years. And then you will come back to the Dhruva sphere of Dhruva Nakshatra. And then you will be again my devotee, no? So Dhruva thinks that it is not a good thing. But he repented. But God disappeared. God came in the vision and gave the boon, and then the Lord disappeared. So now Dhruva's repentance over the boons. Now, how could that Dhruva, a neo-knower of truth in the spite of having attained the Lord in one birth, which is something impossible for bound souls ordinarily, consider himself as bulked of his goal and feel uneasy in mind? The question is that why then Dhruva will be uneasy? Everyone will be happy. You will be king at the same time and then enjoy your devotion also, no? So both sides. People want that, is it not? Our religion, what religion people want? Everyone want yoga and bhoga together. That will be the best. I can eat this side and I can eat that side. But our religion says no. Dhruva did that, giving up everything, went to the forest and did austerity, God, 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 God. Now you got God, his vision. And after that you are getting a boon to go and rule for so many years and then enjoy your devotee nature. What is this? So that's why Why this is the question of Vidura. How could that Dhruva, who is a knower of truth, in spite of having attained the Lord in one birth, in one lifetime, he practiced and he prayed and he did austerity and God appeared before him in one lifetime. Such a person, which something is impossible for the bound souls like us, no? Consider himself as balked of his goal and feel uneasy in mind. Then the sage again said, remembering the worldly saps of his stepmother that had pierced his heart, he could not think of mukti, even when face to face with the Lord, the granter of mukti. It was this thought that made him uneasy in mind. That means he said, the remembering the word that what his stepmother told when he was going to go to his father's lap, that actually that worldly shaps of his stepmother that was pierced in his heart and so deep-rooted, it created such a pain in his mind that he could not think of mukti or liberation. Absolute liberation, he could not ask for, even when face to face with his Lord. When the Lord came and gave the boon, he could not say, I don't want that. But God gave the boon and he remained silent. That means one part of his mind was feeling happy. One side is saying, good, this is the purpose of my spiritual practices. I don't want to see him to be absorbed in God, but I wanted my kingdom. That's the way he took the resolution and went into the forest and do practice of meditation. Now, how can it be possible he feeling uneasy? Dhruva said, alas, in a short period of 6 months, I attained to a state of near proximity to the Lord, for which the sages like Sanandana, 4 sages called 4 rishis, young children of the ever pure souls, Sukha, Sanandana, Sanatana, Sanat Kumara. The 4 is called, God created 4 ever pure rishis. They are never entered into the life of worldliness. They are so pure, Maya could not cover their vision. So here Sanandana, this Dhruva is saying, I only did 6 months austere practice. And by God's grace, I reached that place where I can be near to God. God the Vishnu, for which the sages, exalted holy people like Sanandana, they practice continence and samadhi in repeated lives. And yet, the fool that I am, I have abandoned it owing to my worldly ambition. Dhruva is saying, I have a hidden agenda in my mind. God has come, God's vision is okay, but I want to go back and be the king. That subtle idea was in my heart. So, shame on me. I could have got the extreme freedom, permanent realization in which I will be absorbed in God consciousness. And I then expected to be king again. So shame unto me, an ill-starred fellow. See how my hankering after material fulfillment has influenced me to prefer these short-lived felicities, even after attaining to the feet of the Lord, which cut asunder all worldly bondage. Really, when you get to see God and still you ask for material gain, is it not a foolishness? That's why you read the Chandi. Chandi, we read the Chandi we read in the morning. So you remember the story. 2 people went to the sage Medhas there is a sage, he used to live in a forest, great person of knowledge. The two people, one lost his kingdom, he was a king. He entered into there and he saw the big, great serene place. He was lost. He lost his old kingdom and wife and everyone, no? And no one loved him, so he was so much pain. So he's trying to find peace. So he came to the forest, and the sage Medhas is the name of the Medhas. This, Sage Medhas, right? So Medhas says, his name is Medhas Muni. And he came, and Medhas Muni asked, what do you want? He said, what is the matter? He said, I was a king, I lost my kingdom. My all relatives and friends betrayed me, and they never looked at me. My wealth and prosperity, everything they have taken away. So I want my kingdom back. Why it has happened? So I want some peace. Another, he was a businessman, big businessman. He also lost his wealth and prosperity, and all his relatives took away the money and cheated him, and his wife and everyone abandoned him. So he, falling into this difficulty, he also went into and happened to be meeting there. And then they put the question, the king put the question, "O Rishi, O sage, tell me, why? Everyone knows that it is impermanent, all this kingdom, this, that. But why people fall into the trap of Maya and get into it? Or it is all that the Medhas Muni, he said, it is all because it is Divine Mother. Mother can give us freedom, Mother can give us liberation, at the same time, your kingdom back, everything can be given." And then he related these 11 chapters, of the 11 chapters of the entire, how every time demons were conquered by Mother's power. All the demons were killed in the all the 11 chapters. Now we read the prayer part. That prayer part we read, but the fight between the demon and gods and demons always happen. And by who gives the power? It is the Divine Mother. When all this story was said, then ultimately he said, "O king, O merchant, you go and do austerity and spiritual practice, and then by Mother's grace, Mother will give you whatever you want." And actually they did tremendous austerities and went on the bank of the river and did austerities, and Mother appeared to the king as also to the Samadhi, the businessman. Good. So, and then when Mother came, Mother said, "My child, what do you want?" The king said, "I want my kingdom back." After seeing God also, he is not asking for being absolute joy, but he is asking to be the king again. That means point is very important.
No, but the purpose was that he said that he wants to spread Mother's name all over.
That's a different thing. But this aspect we are focusing, that he is asking to be the king. Where is the other one? He said, "Ma, I don't want anything. I got your vision and you remain with me. I want your vision only, nothing else." Said God appeared. Even God appears before us. What will I ask, I do not know. Someone may ask liberation, total liberation, freedom. Someone will say, "No, make me king. Make me the president of US. Or make me the king of this country." So, it is depends on it's Maya, God's power.
But if you were like with utter surprise become dumbfounded, then what will happen?
Well, after?
With you very much surprise and like something gorgeous happening in front of you, you just become dumbfounded. Not to say anything.
Yeah.
What will happen?
Actually, that's why it is the samskaras that drive us. Even mind, God vision comes, if the pure, stainless character is very difficult. See, Ramakrishna is also, he could not take any money, coin, everything. But Rama, he is also Bhagavan. He came, there is a purpose. That purpose means the desire is there for the redemption. In this way I will do. So that small desire is prompting the entire activity. So he was king and he has to go to exile and all these stories. So here is the dumbfounded. Then what will happen? I do not know that question. If you see God and could not say anything, what will happen? I think they will be in silence.
He will touch it with a conch, like he did with Dhruva.
Like a conch?
Yeah, with Dhruva, Dhruva
could not speak. He could not speak out what to. I do not know what will happen to a person who seeing God could not say anything, what boon, which side it will go. But this much is that total purity will say, I don't want anything but God, you. But little touch of glimpses of the gunas will remain there, which past impression may force him. But once they are not ordinary kings, they will remain in their God consciousness plus rule the country. Like Janaka. He is a Brahmagyani, at the same time he is ruling the country. That type of ruler is very rare in the world. And that brings good to the whole populace, the people of the country. And then what happened? He said, shame unto me. See how my hankering after material fulfillment has influenced me unconsciously. I am praying to God for God vision, and God appeared and gave me the boons, and still I could not reject it. Say, look at the Katha Upanishad. Katha Upanishad Nachiketa, when he is wanting to reach that highest knowledge, then Jama, the god of death, he appeared and he said, okay, what boon you want? And then he said, I will give you this, you go give you this, you go to heaven, have an elaborate life, have all fun, joy, whatever you want, I will give you everything. But what, see? Nachiketa said, sir, I don't want all these things. You please keep your all gifts, but give me liberty. Tell me how I shall be conquering death. I will reach the state of deathlessness. So here he says, I could have asked for that deathlessness aspect, and I am still, a part of my mind was hankering for worldly pleasures. So I was consumed in that idea, no? Prefers the short-lived felicities. All you go to heaven, you go to Chandraloka, you go to the pole star plane, no? But these are also temporary. In the infinite time span, it is also, but God absolute is the beyond all confusion. So I could have asked that, but I did not. So he is repenting for that. After attaining to the feet of the Lord, which cut asunder all worldly ones. It must be the jealousy of the gods, their fear that I might surpass them, that has affected my intelligence and prevent me from grasping the import of the genuine words of Narada. Influenced by his Yogamaya, I was like one in the dream state, and was overcome by the false sense of separateness, which made me consider my brother an enemy. So as if I was hypnotized. The gods and goddesses are jealous. So I was doing austerity, and they probably has influenced my mind, so that I remain in my desire. So when I saw the Lord appearing before me, I was overwhelmed, and I could not say much, and they have influenced my mind so that I do not get total liberation and compete with them. So, and jealousy, still the thought of jealousy came back to my mind because of them. Just he's saying, it is them. Somebody has influenced me, why then otherwise I shall not ask total liberation and will be happy to be the king again. Why that jealousy that my brother, cousin brother, is my enemy? Why shall I think like that? Vain is this worldly advantage that I have sought, just like the treatment given to a dead man. After propitiating the Lord, the soul of the worlds, whose grace is so difficult to obtain, I have, alas, sought of him who is the destroyer of samsara, my continuance in it. And I have asked, what a fool I am. I am propitiating the Lord who is the soul of the worlds, whose grace is so difficult to obtain. And that Narayana came and appeared and showed this grace. But I have, alas, sought of him. What is I am asking for him? Who is the destroyer of samsara? My continuance in it. That means I am asking, make me king. Means what? You are in the realm of the Maya again. I could have gone beyond Maya. Because the Lord appeared before me, I could have prayed for that. Instead, what I did? I said, give me more, so many years to be in the Maya. I'll rule the kingdom. I'll be the ruler. I'll be king of the country. No? That means what you are asking? You are asking world back. You did your sadhana to go beyond world, and after getting back, when the darshan came and vision came, you forgot that what is the ultimate goal. You again ask for heaven, ask for becoming a king to rule the world, no? So ruling the world is a worldly business. What a fate, I missed that chance. And that's a frustration. He's repenting for that. Owing to my stupidity and misfortune, I have sought of the Lord, granter of eternal bliss, the fulfillment of worldly ambitions, just like a beggar who goes to an emperor and begs for the shaft. Ramakrishna said that you go to a king, ask for 1 penny. If you go to God, ask for the infinite.
Didn't Dhruva, he came back as a king, came back as a Jivan Mukta?
A Jivan Mukta, maybe, of course, if you had the vision of God, naturally it should be. But it is I do not know, because yes, to ruling the country, whatever you do, your mind comes down too much. Maybe Jivan Mukta, but it is not the same that you are enjoying the bliss of God constantly, versus you are engaging yourself in activity. There will be not that you will, maybe Jivan Mukta will not forget the presence of God, but overwhelmed much of the worldly thought. So that is not ultimately the expected of a devotee. Devotee does not want anything but love for God. He does not money, wealth, kingdom, progeny, nothing he wants. He wants that only how can I be totally devoted to God. So he said, oh dear Vidur, devotee like you who approach the Lord solely for serving Him, never seek of Him any worldly goods, yet all their wants are automatically fulfilled. So, Dhruva then was repenting that what I lost a big chance. I could have only asked for his lively presence and not this kingdom business again coming back to the world and worldly business again. No? Though it is good, but still it is a pain. You have to be, who will like to be, suppose you get absolute bliss and can sink into it, versus you have that underlying, that feeling of joy, and you have to work in the outside world. There is the external world, reactions will happen. Say Rama going to the forest, no? He had to face the demons and fight with them, and the Ravana and all these things. Are they all very happy things? You have to go through, though you are Rama himself, but it is a difficult task. I think from that perspective probably. So I think time is up. Next day we'll read verse number 37. The same 4, 9, 37. Where Dhruva reception by his parents and people. When now everyone will praise because he has already got realization. And God, the Lord has blessed. So now he's going back after austerity, going back, and now everyone says, come, hey, stay here. But then the luck changes, no? When you become a famous person, everyone runs around you. You are the same person. But when someone gets recognition, high recognition from big guys, then all other people will be flocking around him. The same person may be working with them days and days, they don't care for it. It happened like that. Rabindranath Tagore, he got his Nobel Prize. And then many people, they all came around and praising in high praise of Tagore. Then he said, oh, because I have got the prize, Nobel Prize, that's why you all came to. That is the same thing. So next we'll read Dhruva reception. His parents, who have just abandoned, they will be praising, and the people will be rejoicing in his coming back to the kingdom. Om Shanti, 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat, Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu. So now we'll have little question answer, and also next 7:30 will be our Shanti Gita class. Yeah? And then that's all today. Okay, again, some question is here. Is this like the child with handful of precious gems that are seemingly given or withheld to people in a random way? Does it show that the king and businessmen really have no agency? No, they have their agency. The king wanted to be... You are bringing the story of what is called... It has gone. So the question is that in the story of this Chandi, we are talking about this Chandi, mother, 11th chapter of the Chandi, the king Surat and what is Samadhi. These are the two people who went into the forest and met the sage Medas Muni, and Medas Muni inspired them to do prayer and meditation and then to get the grace of the Divine Mother. And the Divine Mother came and appeared before both of them and asked, my boy, what do you want? One said, I want to be king. I want to restore, go back into my kingdom, and I want to see that everyone will be obeying me. Ma said, okay, you will have it because you did austerities. So he went back and became a king. And the other one who came for the same problem, being abandoned by all family members and losing all money and wealth and prestige, he also said, but when mother appeared, he said, Ma, I don't want anything. Your devotion, that is my achievement. So these two types of desire came. One is become more purified, another has little enjoyment, desire of enjoyment. So here, does it show that the king and businessmen really have no agency? No, they have agency. But once I consciousness is totally gone, another Sai consciousness is still prevalent. Bhakta wanted to live like a devotee of God, thinking, meditating, praying, and absorb like Ramakrishna. Nothing but God, sing, dance, and remaining in that. Suppose Ramakrishna, like person, if they want to be a man of power in the society, so it is Ramakrishna enjoyed the spiritual life, no? Day and night. And he has the responsibility of running a kingdom, then what will happen? It is not the same, no? There is the ego sense is there, that's why he will have to go to the administration and keep doing all these war and other things whenever needed. Yes, there was ego, I think. If someone by good deeds goes to heaven, loka, enjoys there for some time, then when they come back to this earth, having used up a good chunk of punya, their lives are worse than before. People forget, that's why, because of your punya, good karma, you go to heaven. And as I said, Hindu heaven is not one heaven. According to, as much is the merit, so much is your place of joy, peace, enjoyment, no? Higher and higher and higher. But when it is a good chunk of punya, yes, you go there and exhaust your punya, no? But you come back. But what happens, you know? After experiencing this, all this heavenly enjoyment or whatever joy people think about after going to heaven, that you get an experience. Oh, what's that? I experienced that. That is a fleeting thing. It was there, it is not here. Shall I go for that again? And because it has come out of your spiritual practice, your mind has already become purified. So, when one goes into the heaven and comes back, they are little different person. Because they understand, I was craving for this, I did so much good work, and I did meditation, I did prayer, and I enjoyed the heaven. But when I come back from heaven, what is that? Again I am into this, that means that is not permanent. Why shall I go for impermanent thing like that again? So that type of sense will generate in the heart. As a result, that will be more spiritually uplifting. So they actually advance. When even they go to heaven and come back and born as a human being, that person has greater insight. They develop internal clarity that going to heaven is not the end of our, or it should not be our expectation, because it is again exhausted and brings me down here. So why not I utilize the same spiritual energy to be totally free from all desires and expectations? So it is not, their lives are worse than before, that I cannot say. They may be repenting for their action, what I did. You invest your money, you have a good chunk of money, you got it, and you can waste it away. When you waste away, then you may repent afterwards, say, what did I do? I should not have done. See, if I get now, I will not do that again. Similarly, You do the punya, you did austerities and prayers and meditation and all this, and after death you go to a heavenly sphere to experience all these good results of the good action. And then when that exhausts, when you come back into the senses, you said, what a wastage of my energy, why did I do that? Next time I am not going to do that. So that awareness awakens in the heart. So that's a development. Yeah. Anyhow, as you know from Vedantic perspective, anything but God has an end. But we don't want end. We want endless joy. We want endless peace. So we should not be lost into the temptation of this Maya, which is all temporary. It gives something, but it is all temporary. And temporary may be 1 year for someone, another may be 10 years, another may be 20 years, another is a 36,000 years or what.
Temporary cannot be endless.
That's why I'm saying temporary is end, that has end. But we want endless. No one wants something will end. But endless, being in the ended world, which is changing by birth and death circle, how can we expect it endless joy? Even in the heaven you were not there. You acquired some merit and went there. And then after that exhaustion, you will have to come back. So, it is temporary. That's why it's temporary. It is time-bound. But in time it came, in time it went away. Then why shall you ask for timeless thing in the things which are time-bound? So, main thing is that we should have to purify the heart, that will understand this spiritual ideal correctly. Okay? So, এখানে কেউ আসে না, no one comes here, no?
Yeah, one person is
here. Here? Who? What about the Prakriti Lina state Patanjali describes? They tried for God, not for heaven, but fall, and instead being gods. How did they fall? By not practicing enough or by having subtle desire. I think there will be, as Holy Mother said, there must be subtle desire in the heart, or because of that subtle desire, that they cannot merge. They remain in the Prakriti Laya. Prakriti Laya means, Prakriti Laya means in the Prakriti it gets merged. Example is that when we go to sleep, our whole concept is merged into that sleep state. And when you wake up from the sleep state, it comes into the waking state. Similarly, when the God, the whole creation, the Lord, Narayana, who created it, it is His projection. When He goes to sleep, all are consumed into Him as unmanifest. And again, when He wakes up, it manifests. So this is because of the desire. Of course, there is desire in the mind. Nachiketa asked for knowledge of self rather than the world. How to overcome this desire for world, how to purify oneself, and not slip towards world or fears or death. It is the same. All the scriptures are talking, think of God, think of the impermanence of everything. If I know it is impermanent, know means not intellectual knowing, but really has a solid experience, no? See, look at that. If someone having a good relationship, he does not think of anything. But suppose something happened in that relationship and it is betrayed or lost, what happens? in the heart of that person, he understands, oh my God, is this so? I thought I love so deeply, and what is this? So, see, every expectation has a result of frustration. So, if that is not negative, that is giving an eye-opener. We look at the world in a different way, but when really in real life odd situations come, or any experience come, we learn out of that and we understand the temporary nature of everything. Temporary nature of everything. In emotional, you said, I love you, love you, love you. No one loves anybody. I love you, love you, love you. It is superficial. You get something more, you will love that instantly. You will love the other thing. And look at that. Anyone given to a certain condition, I love this. If something more comes, what will happen? People automatically say, I love my job. Okay, I see. But suppose you are earning now 50,000 or say 100,000, and an offer comes, 250,000. What will you do? You love the 100,000 job, but no, 250,000 will drag you there. You give up. That is the nature. It is a temporary nature. We cannot be static to anything. We cannot hold on because these are finite, limited. So limited, holding on to limited, you cannot expect unlimited. And we are always moving to the unlimited, giving up one thing to the higher, to the higher, to the higher. We may not understand that. Every day's life. See, when you serve there so many items of food, what happens? What we select? It is not good, I will take this. Why you say it is not good? You have experienced it before. And there is another choice, and better choice. So always you go for better choice. Then where was your yesterday's choice? Yesterday you say that was good, but today you find something good food and say, this is my choice. So your choice is changing. It will change because it's time bound. Anything in the sensory world will have its limitation, and it cannot stop anywhere. It will always be going for something more, something more, something more. And ultimately we see that there is nothing permanent. And that is the great experience. When you know nothing permanent, mind goes for God only. Because then where shall I hold on? Whatever may be good in the world, but if it does not stay with me, it's for a temporary moment. So what shall I do it? Jenaham namritasam denaham kena kurjam. In the Upanishad it says that if I don't attain immortality, what shall I do with it? We are living in the mortal things, all changing things. I want only immortality. So that is the renunciate mind can think about that. And Nachiketa's mind was in that level. Okay? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. See you then 7:30.